he raised his hand in a Muslim greeting, Salam Alaikum. At that point, I heard a rumbling behind me, and I'm sure everyone else did too, and I turned around in my seat to see what it was. And then I saw two guys standing up. My next impression, it all happened very rapidly, as you can understand, is of the gunshots. And I saw Malcolm had his hand up. He said, stay cool, stay calm, or something like that. And just then the gunfire went off, and his hand was up. I remember this. I turned around quickly, and the next thing I saw was Malcolm falling back in a dead faint. I swear. Ever since you went away, I ain't been doing nothing but thinking. Put my head in my hand.
When the bullets took Malcolm X in February 1965, they didn't just silence a man, they tried to silence a movement. Left, standing in the aftermath, was Betty Shabaz, wife, mother, widow. If they thought Malcolm's death would break her, they would underestimate the steel inside Betty. This is her story, a journey of grief, purpose, and a fierce fight to protect a legacy and build her own. On February 21st, 1965, Betty Shabaz sat in the Audubon ballroom with her 4 young daughters, watching her husband speak. Seconds later, gunfire ripped through the hall. Betty threw herself over her children as Malcolm fell. At 28, she was now a widow with 4 little girls and twins on the way. In the months that followed, Betty faced poverty and threats. Many distanced themselves from her and the family out of fear. But Betty, she did what Black women have done for centuries. She endured. She gave birth to twin daughters just months after burying her husband. She kept her children safe despite constant threats and surveillance, and she refused to be defined only as Malcolm's widow.
You said inside that there must be change or there will be nothing to change. Is this militancy?
Well, classified whatever way you will. You know, that's, whether I agree with it or not, that's logic.
Why must there be militancy?
Why must there be confusion and destruction and oppression and slavery of one people, you know, over the other? Why must this be? Answer that, and I guess you'll have your answer to why it must be.
Betty went back to school, earning a doctorate in education and administration. She devoted herself to helping Black youth find their power through learning, just as Malcolm had once dreamed. She became an administrator and professor at Medgar Evers College in Brooklyn. There, she championed education as liberation, mentoring students, speaking about civil rights, and reminding the world that the struggle didn't die with Malcolm. Betty Shabaz also traveled the world forging bonds with leaders across Africa and the Middle East, continuing Malcolm's vision of a global Black community. Betty never stopped defending Malcolm's name, often standing toe-to-toe with those who tried to distort his legacy. Decades after his murder, the pain of betrayal by the Nation of Islam, where Malcolm had once been a shining light, still lingered. Betty Shabazz-Life ended tragically in 1997. Malcolm Shabazz set a fire in her apartment. Betty suffered burns over 80% of her body. Even as she lay dying, she forgave him, understanding the weight of pain that history can pass from generation to generation. She died at 61, surrounded by her daughters.
I don't know if we really do love ourselves. My mother made sure that her daughters, her 6 daughters, learned to love themselves. We learned about the significant contributions that Islam made to the world. We learned about the significant contributions that women made to the world, and we learned about the significant contributions that Africa and the diaspora and indigenous people in first world nations gave to the world. And so there's this true love of self, right? And then seeing you as a reflection of me, and so it makes me truly love and respect you.
Today, Betty Shabaz is remembered not only as Malcolm X's wife, but a force in her own right, an educator and activist, a mother who turned tragedy into purpose. She once said, "I wish for my children to be secure and grow up to be happy people, but they must be committed to the struggle." Betty's life reminds us the struggle didn't end with Malcolm's last speech. It lived on in Betty's tireless work, her daughter's fierce voices, and every young mind that walks through the doors of the classroom she fought to build. In the fire of loss, she forged her own flame, one that still lights the path forward. Betty Shabaz, not just a widow of a legend, but a legend herself.